Hi Scorpio, welcome to your Oracle of Love for singles who's coming towards you. Singles, Oracle of Love. Okay, Nine of Wands. This person could be a fire sign, an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. They could have an anger temperament or be quite defensive by nature. I see that they have their guard up. We can see this with the Nine of Wands. We can see this man here, and he just, regardless of if it's a female or a male, this person just looks like they're on guard, they're on alert, they're very cautious. This could be they're cautious in their partnerships, cautious of new relationships, cautious of new people that enter their lives, Scorpio. There could be things that they're sort of not necessarily hiding, but it could be things that they decide to keep hidden or decide to keep under the rug. This could also indicate the nature of the work they do. The Nine of Wands could be around them. So they might be in a career or in a profession where they have to be on alert. This could be security. This could be surveillance. This could be monitoring. This could be, they could have a lot of accountability and they're responsible for certain things. That could be it also. So this could definitely be the nature of this person's job that's coming in. Or they might have been hurt before and they're on alert. It's almost like there's a side to them that you don't quite know, that you might find quite interesting, Scorpio, because it's a bit mysterious as well. I don't think this person gives too much away. So it's almost like they're keeping things to themselves. And maybe that's just how they are. Maybe it takes them a while to get to know people. And to show people their true colors. Okay, King of Cups. This could be also a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or a fellow Scorpio that's coming in as the King of Cups here. Now, the King of Cups is representative of emotional maturity. So I feel like this person has emotional maturity around them. They may have had in their immediate or perhaps their distant past, they may have been in these sort of situations where they have felt there's been a lot of emotional upheaval or turbulence around this person. And we can see this with this water here around the King of Cups that is quite turbulent, and the water does look quite choppy. Yet the King of Cups sits quite poised. So it's almost like this person, it might take them a while to get fully invested in a relationship or fully invested in a hobby, in an idea. It takes them that little bit longer. Maybe because they're very cautious. Maybe it's because of their past. On some level, they've experienced this sort of hurt or emotional trauma. And that trauma might be still around them as the King of Cups. But look, they are capable of loving and they are capable of giving you emotional attention and affection, yes. They might have a very demanding job around them. It could be family circumstances as well. They may have a very demanding or forceful family or circle of friends that would like to sort of dictate what it is that they do. Who they're dating, etc. So I think there's sort of like this emotional turbulence around them. It could also mean that they like to be near places with water. You might meet, near a lake, near a river, at the beach. There is a lot of water with the King of Cups, so this is possible. Okay, the Magician, new starts, new beginnings, new manifestations. This is someone you've been trying to manifest on some level here, Scorpio. Whether you're aware of it and whether you are aware that it's conscious or whether it's subconscious, on some level you've been putting it out there to the universe that you're wanting this person, and the universe is practically delivering to you here with the Magician. Now, this is someone who could have an autonomous or self-governing business. This is someone who's in a role or a time in their career where they're embarking on new starts, new journeys, maybe relocations, maybe new hobbies. It's definitely a period of new starts for them, and I think this is when you might be coming into their life. It could be someone brand new, someone you don't know, but they are very successful, possibly have been in the public eye before. It's either they've caught your eye on social media, or maybe you've seen them in the paper or on the internet or in a blog. So there has been, I guess, viewership of some kind here, or you may have even heard about this person with the Magician card. And there's a natural affinity. We see this infinity symbol here. Where is it? There it is. Oh, that's a bit bright. So we see that it's a natural affinity that the two of you will have together. So you've manifested each other in a really, really special way here, Scorpio. It could be an Aries coming in as well. As I said, there is the ones here which do rule fire. So in particular, an Aries or a fellow Scorpio, Cancer, or a Pisces that's coming in. They could be quite spiritual. They are a go-getter and they are working towards certain goals in life, and having a relationship could be a part of that goal. It could be on that list for them. So keep an eye out on that. I feel like this is what this person is wanting with the Magician card here. They might be destined for fame later in their lives as well. They might grow to become very successful and very well known in what it is that they do. There's also a possibility that you might meet through the Magician. So this meeting could happen very suddenly, but this meeting could also happen at concerts, at magician shows, at a public venue, somewhere where there's a lot of people about, somewhere that it could be an attraction site even. It could be a very famous site or place where a lot of people go. And this could be how the two of you meet. Okay, the Three of Pentacles, definitely meeting face to face. As I said, you might have seen this person online or in the paper or on a blog or something. But I think the meeting might be face to face. And for some of you, it could be through work because you do have the Pentacles here. So it could be either a paid venue, a paid event that you might be going to. Or it's a meeting through, we see negotiations, we see people here. So it could be through work if you're sort of in that finance, legal, retail industry even, but it's somewhere where there's people, have banter, people are skilled negotiators, there's a lot of to and fro, there's offers and counter offers. So there could be a connection with this. I feel like this person might be doing this sort of work. They could be a sales rep, they could be in pharmaceuticals, they could be selling a certain product. Maybe they're selling high-tech surveillance cameras. It's really, maybe they're a security guard at sort of these convention centers. There's really a lot of options here. But the Three of Pentacles is about, the underlying message is about negotiation. So they could be a very skilled negotiator. They could be quite diplomatic. Again, it almost feels like they have to feel their way through a situation before they commit to something wholeheartedly. But the Three of Pentacles can indicate possibly a third-party situation. There could be another person around you, Scorpio, at this same time when this person comes in. So there could be a bit of a balancing act or choosing between two different people with the Three of Pentacles. I do see this person will take you out on dates, though. I see you visiting a lot of new places, interesting places that have very nice decor. It might be antique decor, so it could be something very new and exciting for you. But I do feel like this person likes to talk, and they have a certain amount of charm and charisma and the gift of the gab. So they're quite versatile with whom they communicate with, which is good. They're quite adaptable, I think. I do see money around them. They might have to negotiate to earn more money in their careers. So it could be an incentive-based role, or they might get a profit from the clients they sign on. Okay, the Page of Swords is a figure that lacks clarity. So again, this person could be either anxiety-ridden, or they feel they have to analyze and really scrutinize a situation before they can adapt to it. They are adaptable, but they might have air in their chart, which does show that they can be swayed very, very quickly. There's also, we see the Page of Swords looking back at the Three of Pentacles. There could be an emphasis placed on work for this person. Or they could be quite a perfectionist. It could be earth energy, especially if they're a Virgo. They could be quite analytical and quite a perfectionist, and will want to do things a certain way. And will want to get it right. I feel like their career very much depends on their word and them being able to follow through with their word and their promises, their skilled negotiations, etc. In terms of a relationship, the Page of Swords can indicate this person might be on guard, as we saw with the Nine of Wands in conjunction with the Page of Swords. This is this sort of feeling where they might have a lot going on around them that's influencing how they are in a relationship. For example, they might have their parents that are currently divorcing, or they might have a friend that's currently going through a breakup around the time that you meet. So I think outside influences are going to impact this person and how they see you and how they see this relationship. So I don't think it's necessarily you, Scorpio. I think it's outside influences. Okay, the Two of Wands. I love, love, love the Two of Wands. This is a beautiful card of partnership. It's assistance, it's choice, but it's also a very, very strong collaboration, an important collaboration, because we see the royal regalia here. So it's obviously of significance. This relationship that's coming in, this person is going to be quite influential and significant for you in one way or another. They're going to teach you about yourself, teach you about love, or, you know, whether you choose to date or not, this person will still be quite important to you. But the two also speaks of choice, because it's not one anymore, it's two. So there's a strong message here that there'll be two people coming in around the same time, Scorpio, and this might throw you off a bit. It could even be two separate people. And the negotiation could be in the sense where you negotiate with yourself even, and think about which one is more compatible and which one is better suited to you and your needs and your wants in finding a partner and a relationship. So possibility for two different people coming in here. But I think for the most part, this person is a good, there's a lot of compatibility with this person, and you would make a very, very good couple together with the Two of Wands. I think you're wanting the same things and you want to move together at the same pace, which is good. Very good. So the Judgment card. The Judgment card is a card of just that, of judgment. We do see the jackal-headed Anubis leading this person here. So I feel like some of you may feel a little bit judged about this, judged from this person. Again, it could be that they just want to help you, to mentor you and guide you. I think they have this nurturing side to them. But with the Judgment card, it can also indicate they're in law. This sort of notion keeps coming up here. They're in diplomacy, they're in law, litigation, the DEA, politics maybe. Or they could be very well known for their judgment. Maybe they have a review channel, a blogging website, maybe they create and review movies on IMDb. Maybe they're in the legal system and they're a criminal defense lawyer, or maybe they engage in property law or commercial law. But there's this notion of judgment here around them. So it can be because of their experience, they're judging, as I said, outside influences are judging this person's experience. It's literally shaping how the two of you will move on together. So just be mindful of that. You might see little bits and pieces of this when you meet this person. But Judgment card also speaks of karma. So it's a karmic connection that's coming through. This is something that's supposed to happen. I love that you have the Two of Swords. This is you both being on the same alignment with each other. This is you feeling like your frequencies match up for most of the time, which they do. It shows that you have compatibility and commonality in interests, in the way you talk. I think there's a strong compatibility here. With the two of you, personality-wise, you could connect extremely well with each other, which is great. And it's almost like you're aligning, you're on the same path. And I love that it's next to the Two of Wands. So that's pretty special. It shows that there's potential to have a really, really strong relationship here. Again, hopefully overcoming those obstacles of outside influences for this person. It could even be you, Scorpio, as well, that's experiencing this. Okay, love this, the Wheel. almost looks like the Wheel of Fortune, but we see things are improving. Look at that. We see maybe overcoming obstacles, and these little devils here look like these obstacles, but you will triumph and become this, zoomorphic. We see this zoomorphic gold, very stable, although it's on a wheel, very stable statue here. So I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is bringing the two of you together. It's almost like a cycle. You're ending a cycle. Maybe you're ending a cycle of singledom. This person is going to change or end a cycle for you. So end a cycle of singledom, end a cycle of being in horrible or toxic relationships. It's ending a cycle, but in a positive way, or starting a new cycle with this person. And we do see this wheel here, which can symbolize a ring, which can symbolize eternity, the eternal being. So for a lot of you, this person will remain in your life possibly till the rest of your days. It's just, I love that the wheel has come up here. It's really saying that fate is bringing the two of you together. It's really solidifying the Two of Wands, the Two of Swords, and we see the wheel here. So things are definitely will be improving in this relationship. So regardless of these outside influences, things will certainly be looking up and up. So I don't think there's any reason for you to be concerned. Let's have a look at the last card. They could also work with wheels. It could be manual labor. It could be steering ships. They might even have a boat as well. Okay, the Emperor, strong attraction to this person. Could be an Aries. Aries has come up twice. So it could be an Aries that's coming in here with the Empress. Very strong attraction to this person. They can be quite superficial, I think, in some parts. They very much like to indulge in the senses. They like to spoil themselves. They like to spoil those that they are in relationships with as well. They have a certain aura or energy about them which will really draw you in, Scorpio. So despite those obstacles I talked about, for the most part, I think there's just something there that you really believe in them and you really want to be closer to them. You want to learn more about them. I think they're very well respected in what they do. There's a certain appreciation that comes with them. So whether it's, in law, whichever industry they're in, I think there's a lot of support and there's a lot of appreciation and allegiance for this person and the work that they do with the Empress. Again, highly spiritual, could be into crystals, could be into tarot, could be into astrology, very open-minded in that sense. Loves the outdoors, I think. Lover of nature. Something about the sun and illumination, and it's almost like we see this sun and it's just major. And we see this bird, so there's a lot of happiness. It almost looks like bliss in one card here. Everything that a relationship should encompass. So this is something hopefully really special that's coming in for you, Scorpios. I like to look into this person's past relationship. So looking at why their past relationship didn't work, and maybe seeing about these outside influences or these outside obstacles I've mentioned, maybe seeing if they are playing a part or they have played a part previously for this person in their past relationship. So let's get into that. So why the relationship went wrong for this person, for Scorpio, and what they're looking for in their next relationship. Okay, Queen of Wands. Ace of Swords. Okay, Five of Cups. Queen of Wands. Look, there was a lot of movement and a lot of progress for their previous relationship. There was a lot of battling going on with the Ace of Swords in conjunction with the Five of Cups. It could have been a substance abuse problem. It could have been a battle of domination. It could have been a battle of fighting for affection, fighting for the other. So I think it's more one-sided though. There's definitely this notion with the Ace of Swords that the relationship, it was really, really it almost really took a toll on this person and their ex, because for some reason they've really tried with the Ace of Swords. They've tried to cut out certain things in their life to help move this relationship forward. Especially with the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Five of Cups, they really they had to fight for this relationship. Either because this person or their ex, might have had depression, they might have had a substance abuse problem, could be alcohol, maybe they had bouts of anxiety, maybe they thought, maybe they were very pessimistic and they thought what they had, they took it for granted, they didn't think it was special enough. So there's a certain sadness that's coming here. So I think there's sadness or regret as to why this relationship didn't work out. Because things certainly progressed and there was movement here with the Queen of Wands. But it's also a lion. She rules a sign of Leo. And as much as Leo can be a born leader, there can also be a certain element of pride that comes with this attribute. So this may in fact have affected the relationship not in the best way, with the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Cups. So I think there was, look, there's sadness here, there is. I'm not sure if maybe they've lost someone, not only they've lost a relationship, but maybe they've lost someone because they've passed. And I'm not sure if this somehow affected their relationship or their ex. It could have happened around the ex as well. But it's almost like something happened. We see these spilt cups here. Something happened that really was the last straw, because they've been fighting and pushing and trying for so long. It could even be they were trying for pregnancy for so long and the ex or this woman wasn't able to become pregnant. Because the Queen of Wands can represent this sort of, she's quite sexually open. So it can be fertility, it can be symbolic of fertility, because she does have the flowers as well. She has the wands. She's quite, has this element of fertility and fecundity and nature around her. So it might have been that this person, I hate to say this, but I think through attempting so much to either fall pregnant or just pushing so much energy and just being really forceful with this relationship, actually turn the relationship the other way. And they really had to fight for this person, either fight for their affection. The Queen of Wands does rule affection, and they just felt like they didn't get anywhere. Okay, the Fool, possibly foolish behavior, possibly feeling foolish. This person might have felt foolish for thinking this relationship was something that it just clearly wasn't. Because the Fool card can be this figure that might ignore things around them because they think it's irrelevant or frivolous or unimportant, or it doesn't apply to them. So there might have been things that went on. I mean, there is a strong sexual energy with the Queen of Wands, so there's possibly deceit here, possibly. I think it's more to do with the fact with the Fool card that this person was fooling themselves. They could see this relationship wasn't going anywhere. There wasn't emotional investment. There wasn't love. They had to really fight at it. It wasn't going the way this person wanted it to. But I feel like they were purposely oblivious to it with the Fool card here. They purposely didn't want to acknowledge what was going on in the relationship, and they just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And then ultimately they just came to this realization that this relationship isn't working. And they could see it. They could see it for what it was, and it was just a no-go. The cups are spilt. It's gone. The love is gone. The affection is gone. The loyalty. And this is how I think they eventually parted ways. And it could also be like this immature energy with the Queen of Wands and the Fool, this certain immaturity that the other person, their ex, was lacking. There's a certain immature element, to this person. Okay, the Emperor. I mean, the Emperor is typically seen as quite a intimidating person or an intimidating energy here. And we almost see these barren lands behind him. So we obviously think that this person is quite hard to overcome. They might have a good poker face when they're telling you about this relationship, but really I almost feel like there was a no-go zone. There was just something that they couldn't overcome, and they were foolish to think they could, because they just couldn't. It wasn't working. Whether that's because someone was sexually deviant, whether that's because the love was just gone, it's spilt, it's, someone wanted a new beginning elsewhere. But with the Emperor, it's this feeling that it's almost like this feeling that they couldn't break through to the next level of this relationship. It just wasn't working. It wasn't cohesive. I think they wanted different things, possibly at different stages, or couldn't give each other what it is that they wanted. So I think this might be why they're guarded, especially when they come into a relationship with you. But this might be why they are quite guarded, because this Emperor energy around them, they've just either felt intimidated in love, they felt very barren. So it's either they haven't had much meaningful relationships, Scorpio, or that they haven't been able to break down those barriers. But let's have a look and see what happens when the two of you come together. On the left-hand side, I'd like to do how you feel, how you'll feel in this relationship, and how you'll see this other person. And on the right-hand side, I'll do how this person feels about you and how they are in this relationship. Okay, the Sun, really, really beautiful. The Sun is almost like this relationship is going to breathe new life into you. You're going to feel different this time around, Scorpio. This might be a relationship you haven't experienced before here with the Sun card. And you'll feel the extent of the Sun's rays. We see these hands reaching out and you're just embracing it. I think you're going to embrace a lot of what this person represents and a lot of who this person is. And it's almost like you feel happy, you feel high, you feel committed, you feel there's blessings upon blessings when this person comes into your life. And the Sun can be symbolic of new life, which is in one aspect possibly new life in the form of fertility and children. So there is possibility to have children with this person. But you will feel like this person adores you, that they offer to they either like to spoil you, or they offer to be thoughtful and to be kind and to be appreciative and affectionate. So I think for the most part, the Sun is shining on you. This is really beautiful. Okay, the 8. There'll be cause for worry. Eight of Swords and 8 of Chalices. Okay, the 8 of Swords. So this is you having censorship. This is you closing off for some reason. I think there's duality here. In one aspect, I think you really will be happy. But in another, Scorpio, I see you either fantasizing about something or someone else whilst you're with this person. So as I said, it could be two different people that are coming in, or two different people vying for your attentions and your affections, because you also have the 8 of Chalices. And the 8 of Chalices is fantasy, is illusions, is daydreaming. So I'm not sure if there's a jealous streak within you, and you're going to be conjuring up certain fantasies and thoughts. And my advice to you would be, try not to move this relationship too quickly, too soon. Because as we saw in the past, this person already had this type of relationship with the Queen of Wands, Ace of Swords, where they were just pushing something that's improbable or unlikely at that stage. So it's almost like a message where you'll feel as though sometimes you find yourself, you catch yourself thinking way too far ahead in this relationship with the 8 of Chalices. This is fantasy. This is conjuring up these unrealistic expectations from this person. But you need to remember the kind of relationship they've just been in, and of course the last relationships that you've been in, and what you've learnt and what you do differently. So you're both coming together and you're at different stages. Or maybe you're on the same stage. Maybe you've both come out of a relationship like that. Maybe it's been completely different. But either way, the two eights here can symbolize either jealousy or trust issues. Or it's you fantasizing about someone else when you already have this person around you. But again, because of them being quite guarded, this may see that you find yourself fantasizing about someone else that can make you this offer. But you certainly feel like you're in the spotlight because you have the sun on you. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's another person around this one that's attempting to get your attention, to vie for your love. It could be that for some of you, this relationship doesn't work out straight away. It could be that you for 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months, you come away from each other and then you might come back together. So I think get ready for a roller coaster with this person, Scorpio, because I think there's a lot of duality here. In one aspect, it's going to be lovely. In another aspect, it's going to be quite confronting, and you may find yourself fantasizing about someone else or fantasizing about maybe even leaving this relationship. For some of you, you'll be with the fantasy card here, with the 8 of chalices. It's almost like you think this person is too good to be true and you won't commit. Your thoughts, your anxieties, you don't see how this relationship can happen, and you won't act on it. And you won't allow it to flourish to its full potential because of your own inner anxieties, or because of secretive behavior, or because you're not ready for this person. Let's have a look how they'll be in the relationship, how they feel about you. Okay, Knight of Wands. They do see you as someone they can trust, someone that's quite special. They do want to travel with you. I feel like there's movement because the Knight of Wands does rule movement. There's movement, action, and adventure. So I think they seek these things out in you, and it's almost like they feel like they're going on an adventure. Again, as I said, it's like a roller coaster. Like, buckle yourself in, because I don't think it's going to be a smooth ride all the way. I think there's going to be bumps, there's going to be ups and downs, but I think that's going to bring the two of you stronger together. Again, swift energy. They might be thinking that you might want things to move too quickly for them, and they don't want to be in that situation they were previously. Okay, the 10 of chalices. There's potential for them to fall in love with you with the 10 of chalices. This is the chalice of souls. So there's a very strong spiritual connection here. It could be a past life connection that's coming in from this person. They may have been in your past life, or vice versa with the 10 of chalices. This is emotional movement. It can be representative of harmony, a happy union, growth, togetherness. So for some, this person is wanting to get married, wanting to be committed, wanting to say that I love yous quite soon. This is someone who finds you a counterpart of their own soul. So there's a very deep and meaningful connection here with these people, with this person. So if you are in this sort of relationship, or you're seeing someone, or this person is around you and you want it to move quickly, just remember the fact that this person feels they have a soul connection to you, Scorpio. That they have an intense connection that they might not open up about. We saw they were guarded. We saw there could be censorship. So they may not open up straight away, and you won't know you won't know this, at least not verbally, from them having communicated this to you. But you'll know deep down, that this person has a very intense emotional connection, a magnetic connection to you, very karmic, possibly past life or a soul connection here. But they're wanting union, they're wanting a potential happily ever after with you. But as I said, it's not going to be easy. Sacrifices will need to be made. This person has the Hanged Man. They feel like they'll have to sacrifice a lot to be with you. And this could be in several different areas of their life. They might have to sacrifice hours at work. They might have to sacrifice for certain friends because you won't get on with each other. They might have to sacrifice, again, this outside influence keeps coming up. So whether it's a person, it's in-laws, but it's obviously someone that is impacting somehow on the relationship. But they're going to have to drop something or walk away from something to be with you. This is how they see you. Because the Hanged Man in this deck is all about sacrifice. Something's got to give. Something has to change for them to be with you in a harmonious relationship. And maybe they might have a female or a male friend that you might get jealous over. There could be jealousy coming in from you, Scorpio, possessiveness. And they might have to sacrifice a friendship for you. But I feel they're willing to do it. I feel they're willing to take that step with the Ten of Chalices because they know you're worth it. They'll want to commit because they know what they'll get at the end of the day. They know the affection that the deep love that you're so capable of giving, Scorpio, once you let them in completely. Because look what you have in the middle here. Okay, sacrifices have to be made. Obstacles have to be overcome. Fantasies have to be put away. Because look what's in the middle that sits in between the two of you and your relationship, the Ace of Swords. Because it's not going to be smooth sailing. But with the Ace of Swords and slicing away that negativity, slicing away, making those sacrifices, embracing the good, overcoming the bad, you will prevail with the Ace of Swords. So this relationship is going to take work as well. It's not just going to be completely effortless and things will just fall into place so effortlessly. That's not the case. Be prepared, because if you want this relationship and you want to explore this potential soulmate connection here, you'll need to fight for it, and you'll know what that means when the time comes. So I hope that has been insightful for you, Scorpio. Once again, it's been a pleasure. Please feel free to contact me if you were after a private reading. Other than that, I do wish you all the best and hopefully we'll chat soon.